Ultra-MAGA Agenda is a phrase that Joe Biden used, and I think it's a fantastic phrase that makes it sound awesome, that we really should be going for. And I just wanted to frame this around an article that Hugo wrote a while back now called How to Build a Successful Non-Left-Wing Movement. Because, of course, that is the problem that the right has. It's really outflanked in almost every respect by the industriousness of left-wing activists and their forward planning. They've been doing this for a long time now, thinking about how they can take over, and they have. And so any successful non-left-wing movement really needs to go back to basics and actually follow their pattern, follow their game plan. And Hugo lays that out in this article. It's really, really good, worth a read. But anyway, so Biden appears to have coined the term Ultra-MAGA, and I think he meant it to be like, oh, this is bad, but it sounds absolutely awesome. Let's play the clip.
That's in sharp contrast to what today's Republican Party is offering. And if they hadn't put this in print, you'd think I was making it up. Senator Rick Scott of Florida, United States Senator, who's leading the Republican National Senatorial Campaign Committee, released what he calls the Ultra-MAGA Agenda. It's a MAGA agenda, all right. Let me tell you about this Ultra-MAGA Agenda. It's extreme, as most MAGA things are. It will actually raise taxes on 75 million American families, over 95% of whom make less than $100,000 a year.
Can you imagine the Democrats coming out going, oh, they're going to raise your taxes?
Yeah, look who's talking.
Yeah.
But also just the fact that it's ultra-MAGA. Oh, God, that must be terrible.
It's extreme.
It's the Third Reich or something. You're going to raise taxes. I was kind of let down there.
Well,
they're going to do what we've done.
We'll get into this in a bit, actually, because anyway, so CNN put an article talking about this, and I just find this really amusing. Just, he said, look, my moderate conservative Democrat policies against their extreme, of raising your taxes, compared to their extreme ultra-MAGA agenda, because they think they're going to get whacked in the midterms, obviously. And it's interesting how this is the thing that they've taken out of this, right? The Ultra-MAGA agenda. That's all we know about it so far. And it's like, okay, so what? They're going to raise taxes, right? Okay, why? Like, are they going to do anything else? That's the entire Ultra-MAGA agenda, is it? It's going to raise your taxes, really? That doesn't sound like the Republicans, really.
State of the right. The only idea they've got, raise taxes and we'll leave.
Yeah, even if that was their only idea, how are you against this? So anyway, the Democrat propaganda machine has roared into life from this, as you can imagine. They've taken this one line. If you can go to the next one. Sorry, no, the one after this. Sorry, yeah. So you've got the Democrat propaganda organization, and they, just literally Rick Scott and Republicans wants to raise taxes on Americans. It's like, really? Is that all? That's all he cares about. That's all we're going to say.
But again, with the Dem logo next to it. So,
sorry, are you the party of low taxes now? Are you? I mean, we're all drowning in low taxes. So, yeah. The problem with America is the taxes are just too damn low. Anyway, so this comes, and it took me a long time to actually find out what the hell they were talking about because of the way this is led. Again, you don't know what the actual proposal is called yet. Like none of the reporting has actually mentioned it yet.
As a title, Ultra-MAGA's not bad.
Yeah, exactly. That's why that has been the thing that's stuck. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of glad it did because it's incredibly mimetic. But anyway, so they say in here, 1 week ago, Florida Senator and National Republican Senator Committee Chair Rick Scott rolled out Republicans' plan, which calls for raising income taxes for over half of Americans. And that's it.
That's all the information you need.
What's the plan called? So I can go look it up myself, please. And apparently, a new study has confirmed the Republican plan would actually raise taxes on middle-income households by an average of $450. Well, excuse me, that sounds terrible. I mean, in stark contrast with President Biden and the Democrats who are fighting to lower costs for families. Just terrible. And so they link to something...
Sorry, could we just for a minute? Does anyone take that seriously?
No, of course not. I mean, it's such utterly delusional clown world backwardsness. So they linked something here called the Tax Policy Center with that Scott's skin in the game plan could raise taxes by $100 billion in 2022. So what the hell are you talking about? What are we... Okay, so let's go on to the next one, right? So this is the Brookings Institute have done this. So, of course, it's left-wing propaganda, as you might imagine. And I love the framing of this because I was, again, when I was researching this, I was just like, right, okay, I have no idea what the plan is. And so finally, we get to a link to the plan, right? And they've got this quote. The 11-point plan to rescue America includes all Americans should pay some income tax to have skin in the game, even if a small amount. Currently, over half of Americans pay no income tax. And so the Tax Policy Center decided, right, we're just going to make up some numbers then. That's fair. That's how this works. The Tax Policy Center estimates that achieving Scott's goal could increase federal income taxes by more than $100 billion in 2022. I would have thought they would have been totally in favor of that, frankly. Right? More than 80% of the tax increase would be paid by households making $54,000 or less, and 97% being paid by those making less than $100,000. Oh, that sounds terrible. That sounds bad.
If you're making 54 grand, surely you're paying income tax.
Apparently not.
What?
According to them. I mean, I don't know. They are literally making up the numbers, right? Because this is the next paragraph. Because Scott has not said how his plan would work.
We've written one for him.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Oh, God.
TPC analysed a simple version consistent with this idea, which would create a minimum tax of $100 for unmarried filers. So you've just made up a number for him. And you're like, yeah, and so extrapolating from this, look at that, he's taxing black people. It's like, what? What are you doing? You just made this up, right? And so, but thankfully, they actually did link to his 11-point Ultra-MAGA agenda. So I thought we'd actually go through it, see if it's actually any good and whether it makes any sense.
Instead of just making up the news and writing ourselves.
Making up some numbers.
And then giving it to the president to read.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's no way Joe Biden read any of this. He doesn't know what's going on.
Oh, God. Could you imagine going to your desk and be like, I'm just going to make something up today?
Literally. Literally what they did. It's made up some numbers. Anyway, so the 11-point MAGA Ultra-MAGA plan is, number one, education. And this is not hard to agree with. Our kids will say the Pledge of Allegiance, salute the flag, and learn that America is a great country and will choose the school that best fits them. We will inspire patriotism and stop teaching the revisionist history of the radical left. Our kids will learn about the wisdom of the US Constitution, Bill of Rights, and the Founding Fathers. Public schools will focus on the 3 R's, not indoctrinate children with critical race theory or any other political ideology. Yeah, I mean, indoctrinate them with American political ideology.
I mean, you are America. It's kind of what we expect you to do.
It seems sane.
The Pledge of Allegiance and all that.
That's fine. I don't see why any American would disagree with that. Number 2 is colorblind equality. You see where this is going? Not going to be telling the white kids they're bad because they're white or the black kids that they're oppressed because they're black. Government will never again ask American citizens to disclose their race, ethnicity, or skin color or any government form. I mean, if that's what you wanted, if you want a race-neutral society, that's how you get it.
And this is the thing that is upsetting to them.
Yes, the critical race theorists are furious about this.
All of these things, but this one will be particularly upsetting, or at least coping and seething for those.
We are going to eliminate racial politics in America. No government policy will be based on race. Radical, racist, white supremacist thinking from the Republican Party once again.
Ultra-MAGA strikes once more. What if we weren't racist? Yeah. That's a radical idea. We can't know.
People will not be judged by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. Some white supremacists said that. Anyway, number 3, safety and crime. The soft on crime, days of coddling and criminal behavior will end. California's just like, look, it's working so well for us. What are you talking about?
These Ultra-MAGA guys want to stop the shoplifters from just walking out with the goods.
They're not in favor of just random gun battles in the street. It's crazy. We will refund and respect. These are just extreme policies. We will refund and respect the police because they are not the criminals. They are the good guys. We will enforce our laws, all of them. This is just unbelievable agenda. And increase the penalties for theft and violent crime. Okay, we will clean up our cities and stop pretending that crime is okay. We'll have zero tolerance for mostly peaceful protests that attack police officers, loot businesses, and burn down our cities.
I love how he actually uses mostly peaceful protests.
Yes. Number 4, immigration. We will secure our border, finish building the wall, and name it after President Donald Trump. The Great Wall of Trump on the southern border. Love it. Love everything about it.
Have it in glowing neon lights.
That would
New
be
Vegas style.
the best and most American way of doing it, with obviously American flags. Nations have borders. We should give that a try. Yeah. Trump's plan to build a wall was right, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, agree. So number 5, growth/economy. We will grow America's economy, starve Washington's economy, and stop socialism. Socialism is un-American and always leads to poverty and oppression. Anything to disagree with here?
Nope.
We will stop it. We will shrink federal government, reduce the government workforce by 25% in 5 years, sell government buildings and assets, and get rid of the old, slow, closed-down, top-down, government-run everything system we have today. Brilliant idea.
Yeah. I also I found when the other day I was looking through Walt Disney's history on communism, and there's him giving evidence before the Committee on Un-American Activities, in which he just says, yes, well, communism is un-American, and I should employ no communists in my company.
Based.
And it's like, compare that to today's Disney as well.
Well, look how subverted Disney has become.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's an intrinsic philosophical truth that socialism is un-American.
100%.
America being founded on the concept of private property rights.
I think actually the quote is, do you have any communists or fascists working for you? And he says, no, the people who work for me are all American.
And that's great framing. Yeah. Anyway, number 6 is government reform and debt. We will eliminate all federal programs that can be done locally and enact term limits for federal bureaucrats and Congress. That's a good idea. Term limits for federal bureaucrats? I'd love to have civil servant term limits. Wouldn't that be useful?
It would.
Interesting. Many government agencies should be either moved out of Washington or shuttered entirely. I love the way this is going. Yesterday's old government is fundamentally incompatible with the digital era. The permanent ruling class in Washington is bankrupting us with inflation and debt, so they must be removed.
Clear them out.
Yeah, exactly. That's just such a fantastic summary of it. Number 7 is fair and fraud-free elections. I actually didn't think I can read this out on YouTube.
No, he has said these things. I think that's about as much as we can do.
Yes, he has said that we will, quote, protect the integrity of American democracy and stop left-wing efforts to rig elections. Right-wing efforts, apparently okay. I think just any efforts to rig elections is something we can all get behind.
No, he's very much on it. He's got a night job. Moonlights on that.
Very much the Overton window shifting back here. Bit of repressive tolerance. Anyway, obviously everyone's in favour of, well-run elections. So moving on. Number 8, family. We will protect, defend, and promote the American family at all costs. The nuclear family is crucial to civilization. It is God's design for humanity and must be protected and celebrated. Say otherwise is to deny science. The fanatical left seeks to devalue and redefine the traditional family as they undermine parents and attempt to replace them with government programs. We will not allow socialism to place the needs of the state ahead of the family. That's fine. I'm happy with that. Could have been harder, actually, but anyway, moving on. Number 9, gender, life, and science. Ooh. Men are men, women are women, and unborn babies are babies. We believe in science. Men and women are biologically different. And then they give us a quote from the Bible. Male and female...
I love the religious. As someone who isn't one, they're all wonderful. And in the Bible, in the Quran, you've got, God made a man and a woman. I don't think we need to appeal to the holy books to be able to make this point.
No, me either. Male and female, he created them. Anyway, modern technology has confirmed that abortion takes human life. Do we need modern technology to confirm that?
Again, yeah. Also, what a sign of the times. Like, I was reading Anne-Marie Waters' manifesto the other day for Britain, and they just have a huge section on transgenderism. It's just like, could you imagine going back 10 years and saying, yeah, I want to insert this into a party manifesto?
It would look mad.
People would just think you're weird.
Yeah.
But no, it's actually needed now as well. This is where we are.
But of course, this is the stock Republican position on abortion and gender. Anyway, number 10 is religious liberty and big tech. Americans will be free to welcome God into all aspects of our lives. We will stop government efforts to deny our religious freedom and freedom of speech. Muslims of America are thrilled, I'm sure. The Democrat Party and their big tech allies, well, they didn't say which God, did they? The Democrat Party and their big tech allies are not merely secular, they have virtually created a new religion of wokeness that is increasingly hostile towards people of faith, particularly Christians and Jews. They are determined to drive all mention of God out of public view and will not be silenced, cancelled, or told what words to use by the politically correct crowd. I mean, I'm not particularly for theocracy, but I am for telling the woke to get pissed. So.
Well, I'm against suppressing them. You can see, like with people like Ryan Hartwick who give you, whistleblowing aspects of Facebook's moderation, you can see they do have an active hatred of Christianity and any Western philosophy. Whereas when it comes to, say, Islam, the barriers aren't as tight on what is censored.
Assuming there even are barriers. Anyway, number 11 is America First. We are Americans, not globalists. America will be dependent on no other country. We will conduct no trade that takes away jobs or displaces American workers. Countries who oppose us at the UN will get zero financial help from us. We'll be energy independent and build supply chains that will never rely on our adversaries. We will only help countries that are willing to defend themselves like Israel.
They had to, didn't they?
They had to, yeah.
Oh, God.
Isn't that amusing?
Although I do like if the countries don't support us at the UN, then we're just not giving them money.
Yeah,
because very often there'll be UN votes in which the US and Israel are the only ones voting with each other.
Yeah.
Because of their relationship. In which case they just stop throwing money at the rest of the world for no reason, which would
Yeah.
be good. If nothing else.
I'll teach them a lesson. Anyway, so the claims on tax raising come from point 5 on the economy. I think if we actually explore this slightly, we don't even need to put numbers to it to understand that people are going to pay fewer taxes under this plan because, of course, taxes are what pays for the government. And if you've got a massive bloated government, then you've got to pay loads and loads of taxes. So the Democrat claim is probably going to be false. Anyway, so of course this is framed around socialism being un-American. We will stop it. We will shrink the federal government and reduce the government workforce 25% in 5 years. Socialism will be treated as a foreign combatant.
Heavily based.
Love it. Which aims to destroy prosperity and freedom. That's true. Other essential core functions, government should not be doing anything that private sector can do better and cheaper. We will apply the do it better test. If American business can serve the American people better and cheaper than the government, then the work goes to them.
Sorry, just the wording made me laugh. It's like, what if we could just do good instead of this?
The do-gooder bill.
God.
I like this though. No government assistance unless you are disabled or aggressively seeking work. If you can work but refuse to work, you cannot live off the hard work and sweat of your fellow Americans, which is something completely anathema to Joe Biden. We will require truth in governing. If government passes a law that does not achieve what it promised, the program will be shut down. We'll balance the federal budget. It can be done. States do it all the time. If Congress does not pass a budget, the members of Congress do not get paid. Full stop. I'm loving where this is going.
That's gold.
Yeah, these are a lot of meme suggestions that have come off of the internet that are making it into this plan.
But they're also just hugely true.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is that when there's shutdowns, all the congressmen still get paid. Which
Yeah.
is like, no, they shouldn't be getting paid either. In fact, they shouldn't even get it back after the government reopens.
It should have been for the federal, the COVID lockdowns as well. It's like, okay, you're locking down businesses, right? Well, I'm going to get paid for a while, I guess. Anyway, eliminate truly non-essential government employee positions because they are non-essential. Good. I like that reasoning. Non-essential, that means gone. Implement a line item veto. It works in state capitals. It will work in Washington. Expedite all federal permit applications to be granted or denied within 30 days. Prohibit debt ceiling increases absent a declaration of war. Wow, this is a very aggressive economic policy that's going to really ruin the expensive power of the federal government. And finally, and this is the part, out of all of this is the part that Biden's like, oh, they're going to raise your taxes. All Americans should pay some income tax to have skin in the game, even if a small amount. Currently, half of Americans pay no income tax. And so this is the contentious issue that's been blown out of all proportion because, yes, oh no, I have to pay $100 income tax. Yes, but everyone's taxes are going to go down if there are fewer and fewer things to pay for.
Like
That's what
everything's
he's saying.
better off.
Yes.
So, I mean, I'm not. I can see both sides of the tax argument on whether or not people on such a low income should pay any, because it's easier to
Sure.
just do a threshold.
There probably would be a threshold.
But then he's saying no. He's saying no. You've got to have skin in the game. The Margaret Thatcher position, which is
True.
that even if you're just paying a pound,
Yeah.
well, at least you understand the process,
Yeah.
and it's not just something that you never think about instead. So there's a psychological aspect to it as well.
Yeah. But I mean, if there's just fewer things to pay for, then less tax will have to be paid.
Yes.
So the Democrats being like hyperbolic about this, well, understandably, it seems to be a
Well,
misrepresentation.
yes, because as you can see the tagline, stop socialism, full stop. And the Dems are sweating bullets. So
I love the starve Washington's economy as well. That's exactly right. Yeah,
Yeah.
starve Washington. Yeah, this is don't feed the beast. But yeah, so basically what I'm saying is the Ultra-MAGA agenda looks awesome. Thanks to Joe Biden for promoting it.
if you appreciated that segment from the podcast, The Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to get access to all the premium content we have on the site, such as this premium contemplation series, this one on Imperial Japan. At least there were no weebs. And if you want to follow Josh, who made this, you can also follow him on Getter at @Josh_firm on Getter. Thank you and goodbye.